Hey, this is Kyla. I'm a licensed real estate agent and relocation specialist in Central Texas, and welcome to the Relo Pros Consulting. This channel was brought to you by therelopros.com, and in today's video, we'll be talking about the top 5 ways that you can rent cheap in this quickly changing Texas market. We'll be talking about when to rent, how long to rent, and what you need to do to make sure you're locking in the cheapest rates possible. But before we get into this great content, like this video. It helps me understand what you guys like, what you don't like, and what kind of content that you'd like to see on this channel. Subscribe for daily content and daily tips on how to be the best renter possible, and share this video with as many people as possible, because the more people that see it, the more people we can help. Now let's get into the video. The first thing you need to know in order to rent as cheap as possible is when to rent. Did you guys know that at certain points in the year, rent tends to be at its highest, and then at other points in the year, rent tends to be at its lowest? So peak season for Texas rents, basically May to July. That's when there's the most demand, rents are at an all-time high, and landlords know that they won't have any issue filling those units out. So you're not likely to see as many specials, but toward the end of the year, November to January, that's when demand is less. So rents tend to taper off, and that's when you'll also see landlords offering those better specials. As a matter of fact, I just had a customer who told me that she was looking in July and she gave up because she couldn't find anything that she qualified for, and when she did, that listing was off the market before she even had a chance to apply for it. So she came to me in November, and we found her an amazing apartment that she was able to qualify for in a great location with an 8 weeks free special. So when you're looking for an apartment and you want to save money, get with the relocation specialist, because I have those specials that you aren't likely to see online, and I can tell you where to apply that'll save you the most money. The second thing you need to know to lease as cheap as possible is how long to rent. Did you guys know that landlords charged as much as 30% extra for a short-term lease, so anywhere from 3 to 6 months, than for a long-term lease, which can be anywhere from 12 to 15 months? I was just working with a customer in an application review, which is a service that I offer, and she was thinking about leasing the shorter term lease because she thought it would save her more money, which logically we think, the shorter the lease term, the more money you'd save. But in actuality, landlords love the stability of a longer lease term, so they're charging you way less, and on top of that, they'll even add a special for the longer lease terms. So if you're thinking about applying and you want to know which lease terms will save you the most money, reach out to me. We can talk about which lease terms will save you the most money in the long run. And on top of that, you'll get up to $500 back, saving you even more money in the long run. The next way to make sure you're leasing as cheap as possible is by acting on that rental home or apartment that you find out works with your broken lease or eviction if it's an apartment that's in a great location and that has availability for your time frame as soon as you hear that it covers these things. Did you guys realize that you could be paying more than somebody else who decided to apply a day sooner because that apartment rose in price the very next day? I was just working with a customer who had a Section 8 voucher, and we found the perfect place that worked for her voucher limit with her zip code. And we were on tour. I encouraged her to apply for it. She wanted to wait and weigh out her options, which I understand, but when she did that, the apartment ended up raising in rent, and it fell outside of what she qualified for her zip code for her voucher. We found her a great place in the end, but it just goes to show why you need to make sure that you're prepared to apply as soon as you find a unit that works for you. Another important way to make sure you're leasing as cheap as possible is by starting at the ideal time frame, which is 60 days out, because at that point, that's when apartments have their freshest availability. Did you guys know that landlords love it when you wait until the last minute to start searching, because they know that they can charge you more fees because you're in a more vulnerable, urgent situation? I just had a customer who came to me with 15 days in her search, not being able to find anything. But I educated her on the market and why she can't find anything. And I worked with her on a plan that allowed her to extend her search 60 days out. And at the end of the day, we found her something that she exactly qualified for, that was in a great location, and even had a 6 weeks free special. So if you want to rent as cheap as possible, try to get as close out to 60 days as you can. Now, the best way to make sure that you're leasing as cheap as possible is by contacting a relocation specialist to help you with your apartment search. Did you guys know that landlords actually prefer tenants who were sent over by relocation specialists, because they know that once we've educated you on the property, maybe showing you a few others, you have a 95% chance of staying throughout your lease. So I was actually working with a client and we found him a great apartment. It was a loft, it was a 1 bed, 1 bath, it was gorgeous. The apartments actually kicked back his application because they changed the rent price overnight, so he fell out of the income criteria. So what we did in that case was comped his application fees, because that wasn't his fault, helped him find another great place, and gave him $500 back at the end of the process. Nice and simple. So guys, if you're looking for a place and you're wanting to save money, of course everything is going up, give me a call at 210-291-8886. You can also contact me through the chatbot on my website, therelopros.com. When you call me, we'll put together a plan that works for your situation. I'll help you set up the tours from my relationships of apartments right on my website, walk you through your application, help you apply, and get you that gift card of up to $500 after your move-in. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Again, subscribe for more weekly tours. Share with anyone you think might find this information to be of value, and like this video so I know you want to see more content like this. Again, this is Kyla, and thanks again for watching The Relo Pros Consulting, and I'll see you in the next video.